We are back on the MO Sports Platter. It's all brought to you by Barks and Rec Doggy Daycare and Camillus Golf Club. I am thrilled to bring onto the program from Against All Odds Animal Alliance, Inc. And, of course, they are doing unbelievable work morning, noon, night, sometimes overnight. It's our good friends Eileen Marutiak. I knew it would do that. And Matt Albert here on the show. Guys, it's so great to have you. I followed you on social for a little bit here, and anything for the dogs. Wanted to get an interview out there to tell people what you're doing. So welcome to the program, Eileen and Matt. How are you?
Thank you.
We're doing real well, and if you want to welcome Rocco, too, for the record. Rocco.
I love it. So
he
I
can hear you from here. I'll tell you, he can hear you from back there, like not even with the Zoom, just hear you. He's got big ears, is my point. Anyway.
Cats, dogs, everything in between. Eileen, I guess let's start with you because the big focus nationally and dog related. I mean, there's so many cases locally, regionally, nationally, etc. And Matt, you can piggyback on this too. And then we'll get to some other stuff more in your Western New York area. We'll have a little fun at the end with the Buffalo sports thing. But you're doing some stuff with the Beagles out there in Wisconsin. You've been out to Ridgeland twice. This is a monster national story. Every video seems like it's between 5,000 and 20,000 views. Can you get into a little bit like the latest and greatest, the updates, where some of these Beagles are in terms of like the consumption of them? I mean, they're everywhere at places, and you've been there, you've seen it. So take us in there. I'm sure it's been really emotional for you. And thank you, by the way.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's my pleasure, and it's, the least that I can do. And to be frank, I was very naive with the situation in the country regarding animal testing before I learned of Ridgeland Farm. And I found that a lot of people who love animals and support animal welfare and animal rights are not knowledgeable about that as well, that animal testing is still very, very prevalent in this country. So when I found out about the open rescue at Ridgeland Farms on April 18th, Matt said, we've got to be there. This is what Against All Odds stands for. So within maybe a week and a half, I put together a team of heroes to make the drive out to Madison, Wisconsin with me. And we were on the front lines at Ridgeland Farm, peaceful protesting with the intention of open rescue to save these beagles from the horrors and the tortures that they were enduring within the facility. Unfortunately, we were not able to bring any beagles back that weekend because we were met with brute force by the police in the area. So we came home with empty cages, and that was devastating. But because that force and that rescue was caught on video and flooded social media, it garnered national attention and interest from the public, from politicians, from influencers, and that opened the door to negotiations between Big Dog Ranch Rescue and the Center for a Humane Economy to talk to Ridgeland about releasing some of these beagles. Thankfully, Ridgeland agreed to release about 1,500 beagles. And those beagles are now scattered all over the country and in Canada as well, with rescues, living in homes. So when we got the call after these negotiations happened, we were one of the first calls to take beagles because we had been approved and we had been at Ridgeland on the front lines. So within a matter of 4 days, we put together another team, flew out to Madison again, rented a car, bought some crates and some food, and made the 12-hour drive back to the Against All Odds sanctuary. Now the beagles are here at our sanctuary decompressing. They're learning how to be dogs. When I first brought them in, they didn't know how to drink out of a water bowl, something super simple because they were used to drinking out of droppers. So watching them learn this new way of living, this new world that's opened up for them has been just nothing short of amazing. And they're so resilient. They have been through despair and just absolute horror, and all they want is love. They approach every situation with curiosity and with an open mind, and it is just a lesson to all of us that if these dogs can do it, we can do it too, and we can all be kinder to each other. So the beagles are acclimating really well. They're decompressing. They are going for vetting this week, so they'll receive their vaccinations, a thorough medical evaluation, and they'll get paid. And then we'll start the process of finding them their forever homes.
That's awesome. Matt, I know you've been involved in obviously that project, as Eileen alluded to as well, but kind of get into and maybe tie that in with some of the stuff you do on the daily and kind of against all odds in the timeline of how everything really came to fruition as this group to just help out everywhere. I mean, you guys are connected to shelters, you do rescue, you do abuse cases, you got a pup in the back there. I mean, you're going every minute of the day with this stuff. I've been following your content like crazy too. The streets of Rochester, your videos were amazing. Obviously, so many sad things going on out there. The neglect at that one house was beyond brutal. I had, after a while, I couldn't see it. But you're a pusher, you're a driver, boots on the ground all the time. Maybe if you want to tie in any of that, for your intro here.
Yeah, I mean, we're in the trenches, we're in the courtrooms. There's not an organization like us. That's not saying that from a promotional standpoint, although, if you want to, donate to us, you could do that, obviously. But, it's one of those things where we really do try to fight, because too often animal advocates are very, very nice people. And typically they're always asking, people in government to help to fix the problem. And, frankly, those in government are not animal advocates. Those in government are not, dedicated to the animal's interest. The solutions have to come from us. So long story short, we're about citizen empowerment through the gift of animal welfare. What that means is we do take the fight to the courtrooms. We do take the fight to the trenches, to the streets, and we do, everything we possibly can, from filing a lawsuit. We've been known to cut a chain or two in our time. So whatever we can possibly do to aid animal welfare, we're going to do it.
Yeah.
And for the record, I don't cut chains. I'm just hypothetically speaking, of course.
Yeah. One thing that I've always admired is there's so many hard times. There's so many hard moments, that you see, and you try to save every one. You try to make every case better. And there's awful stories, and there's things that go on, and they're going on, and you're trying not to think about them because you're trying to do the best you can on your side. How do you handle that? Because I'm not there seeing a lot of them. I see a lot on the phone, but I know that they exist. And it's got to be so gut-wrenching, because there's some nights where you two are doing so much work, and yet a bad thing happened. Mm-hmm. Or a pup ended up dying who you tried to save, that whatever reason, medical, it was too late, abuse, whatever. It's brutal out there. And so how do you handle the emotion of that, Eileen? How do you deal with that?
Yeah, it is. It's hard, and there's no sugarcoating that. We get about 70 to 100 surrender requests every single month. And we're already at capacity. So that's, dozens and dozens and dozens of cases that we have to say no to. And that's gut-wrenching, because every single one of those animals deserves a chance. So, you don't want to get jaded in this process, because the animals pick up on your energy, and the greatest gift that you can give them is hope and love and positivity. So relishing in the good moments and in the success stories, that's what gets me through. And you meet a lot of really wonderful people in animal rescue as well, which gives me a renewed hope in society. In a world where so much is out of our control, and so much of it is just sadness and chaos, in animal rescue, it is something you can control. You can make a difference in even just one life. And so that has made me feel hopeful instead of hopeless. And I encourage anybody that is feeling those depths of despair as they're watching the news, get involved. There's something for everybody to do in animal rescue. You don't have to foster, you can volunteer. You don't have to volunteer, you can share posts. You can use your platform, you can donate. There's something for everybody, and this is a big issue and a big problem that it needs all hands on deck.
No doubt. Eileen Marutiak here with us, as well as Matt Albert, a couple more here with you guys on the ML Sports Platter Against All Odds Animal Alliance. Matt, I'll turn to you here for a quick second. Out of all the things that we need, we're talking about, the advocacy, we're talking about the social media, we're talking about group stuff, whether it's rescues working together, all those things. Is there something, I know it's not just one thing, but is there something that you see on a wish list? Man, if we had that change, like Rochester, it seems to be the political leadership, right? In other areas, it's something else. Is there something above everything where you say, man, if we could fix this, if this took place, that a lot of other things would spill? It's almost like the Bills drought. You got to find that quarterback to get out of it. The Bills have the quarterback. It's now just kind of got to happen. QB1. We're going to get to him in a minute, but. What's that thing at the top that's going to help all of this? Now, it's not going to fix everything, but it's going to be that big of a change.
That's a good question. I mean, I'm certainly a believer that you get more things done with the stroke of a pen, than with 1,000 guns, for instance.
Fair.
So with that in mind, I think where I'm trying to invest myself as much as I can to the best of my ability is to help on the legislative end, and certainly to see, members of Congress. Congressman Langworthy was sitting on our couch with a beagle the other day, and we certainly appreciate the fact that it's high time that, those in power are focusing their attention on the powerless, the voiceless, the animals. And I think that's something where we could help with too, in terms of finding, becoming part of that political establishment, because I think a world that is kinder to animals is a better world. And I think that's something we could agree upon, whether you're a Democrat, Republican, Libertarian, atheist, whatever. I don't think it matters. I think that's one thing that really transcends us, as human beings. And I think we could really start there. And I think we could use that to, solve some of the other issues within society. We're a big believer in citizen empowerment through the gift of animal welfare. It works for us. It works for me. It's given me purpose. It's been my salvation. And I know it, everyone affiliated with our organization feels that, to some extent. So to answer your question, I don't know if that really answered your question, but essentially, I do think that becoming involved, if everyone decides they want to become involved and become part of this movement, that's where we're going to start seeing amazing things. People were knocking at the door on Ridgeland for 10 years and couldn't get it done, but they kept pounding that drum, just like the Bills at the playoff door, right? And you keep doing it, and you keep doing all the right things, and eventually you're going to start seeing the right results. And I think that's what's needed here, is just for everyone to kind of get swept up in this movement, and then they could be utilized accordingly. And we're seeing amazing changes, and that is very inspiring for us who've been doing this, day to day, sometimes not seeing any end in sight. There's never going to be an end in sight, but we're certainly seeing, the potential for huge wins along the way.
Real quick, Eileen, on the social stuff, anything you want to put out there, where to follow, how to donate, anything to push on the Animal Alliance side, and any side partners as well.
Absolutely. On our website, Against All Odds with a Z, AA.org. We have our Amazon wish list on there. We also have how to donate. There's a tab for ways to help through volunteer, adoption, foster. I mean, aside from these 8 beagles, we have 30 other dogs in foster and 15 dogs and 6 cats at our sanctuary that are just as much deserving of help and love. Right now, monetary donations are what we're in need of most, because that will help pay for the medical needs of these beagles, and ensure that we can continue to do this legislative work.
All right. Finally, I know you're both Buffalo sports psychos. As we record this, the Bills in the off season, obviously trying to make another run at it. Just announced that the new high mark will be week 2 against the Lions for the debut. Sabres are tied 2-2 with the Canadians as we record this as well. And yes, there's a little bit of Buffalo action going on in this place, as you can see, just slightly, just a little bit all the way around.
That's quite the collection.
Yeah, quite the man cave.
Did you both, right from the get-go, just all things Buffalo, just kind of the teams, what they mean to you? But it probably started at a very young age for both of you. Is that the story here?
Speaking for myself, my first memory was, I think it was literally 1986. I might be aging myself. No, I think it was before that. I was like 5, and I was with my dad at the gym. He was working out, and the Bills, somehow, some way gave up some like big lead in the fourth quarter to lose. And I walked out of there crying. And, my dad at the time said, get used to it, kid. So I did, but, we've never given up hope, and it's been a great ride, and it's phenomenal to see that we have 2 really good teams now, and the future's so bright, and it's a fun time. It's a fun time, and it's a hopeful time. Go Bills, go Sabres. I love the moves we made in the offseason for the Bills, and I don't like the ticket costs at Highmark, but what are you gonna do? For me, I've been a lifelong diehard fan, no doubt, always.
Eileen, I see you and some of your family. It's just there's jerseys all the time on, and I know there's a lot of blue and gold and a lot of blue and red, and a lot of the folks there. I think actually you went out to Wisconsin, and I believe one of your partner friends was wearing some Sabres gear at one of the nights. I think it was maybe would have been game 2 or game 3 when you went out, right? But she had to pull over and grab a pint and watch the game, right?
Absolutely. Huge. I mean, we're ready to name a beagle Lindy Ruff if we win the game on Thursday.
All right. Very cool. And obviously the Buffalo sports thing for you started early as well.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. I mean, I remember in the 90s, Super Bowl parties at my grandfather's house, buying Super Bowl t-shirts at the Galleria Mall. Big Buffalo fan, true blue always. Big UB fan as well. Both of us are UB alums. And
okay. All right. Well, hey, I'm a St. Bonnie alum, but we can still be pals. That's where the differences are, but no big deal there. It's all things Buffalo. That's the only thing that matters. And you guys are doing unbelievable work. Eileen and Matt are good friends from Alliance Against All Odds, Animal Alliance Inc. And you can go follow them on the Facebook page, make a donation, support the cause, get involved, even if it's just liking and sharing, pushing the social stuff out there. Help all the dogs right now. You can be a part of this. It's just awesome stuff. Eileen, Matt, thank you so much for joining us here. Brought to you by Barks and Rec Doggy Daycare and Camillus Golf Club. Enjoy the day. Keep up the great work. We'll keep hoping for the title on each side in hockey and football. And anytime you want to come on and push what you're doing, I'm all for it. We're here for the dogs, all right?
I'll do one better. If the Sabres beat Montreal, we'll name one of our beagles Uka Puka Lukanen. How's that sound?
Uka Pekka Lukin and a name coming. Okay, we'll do that. All right. Yeah. And by the way, the Lindy Ruffalo thing, that was perfect.
I love that.
I saw that one out there. Eileen Marutiak, see that? I finally nailed it. And Matt Albert, you're both the best. Again, thank you so much for all you do, and let's keep grinding for all the dogs. All right.
Yeah. Thank you for giving us this platform.
Mike. Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Bye.